Good morning, everybody. We are now going to start our inaugural session of this year's workshop. I regret to inform the Chief Guest, Sri Secretary of the Petroleum, who wants to inaugurate the Inauguration workshop, will not come due to minor circumstances. Now, Dr. P.K. Mukhopadhyay, Director, Indian Corporation Research and Development, being associated with the IIP since last 3 decades, has been kind enough to accept our request to inaugurate the workshop. May I now request Chief Guest Dr. Mukhopadhyay, Dr. Professor Hala, and Dr. T.S.R to cover the data. Now I request to IIP school teachers to render the invocation.
Mehrotra, Organizing Secretary of this workshop, and very distinguished guests for this inaugural function, and all our American delegates and the Indian delegates, my staff, colleagues, and other friends. At the outset, I welcome all of you for this Indo-U.S. workshop. My senior colleagues and the entire staff of this institute join me in welcoming all of you. This workshop, as originally indicated, it is supposed to be inaugurated by T.S.R, Secretary Department of Petroleum. He made his best. He sent his good wishes to us, and at a very short notice, I am very grateful Dr. Mukhopadhyay for having accepted to formally inaugurate this 3 days workshop. And Dr. Mukhopadhyay has been associated with the institute almost 30 years, and he is a very early scientist in the petroleum technology development. Now coming back to the workshop and the background of the workshop. In fact, this inaugural function, it would have been a just religious type of function. But all of you must be seeing a little a mood of celebration. And the reason for that is the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, which is our parent organization, is completing 50 years, and this is the golden jubilee year of Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, T.S.R, very popular. These major events, whatever we do in this year, especially this Indo-U.S workshop, is a very major event to make it as a part of the institute's function. The institute's a major event, and therefore all of you witness a little bit celebrity around all of you. And I think this is an occasion for me to say just a word about CSIR. Council of Scientific and Industrial Research was instituted in the country in 1942 with Ramaswamy Madhaya as the first chief of that CSIR, and then Swarup Bhatnagar. And then after independence, the Panditji Jawaharlal Nehru, in order to show the emotional acceptance of the government in science and technology, Panditji himself became the first president of CSIR. And then CSIR spread around the whole country. Today there are 40 laboratories in the country under the banner of Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, and the Indian Institute of Petroleum is one of the laboratories, basically catering the needs of the petroleum industry in this country. So it is a milestone. This year is a significant milestone in the history of CSIR. With a track record, whatever possible, now we are entering into another era of new challenges that this country is facing, and therefore we are very proud that the Indo-U.S meeting in this particular golden jubilee year, we are able to host at the Institute of Petroleum. Coming to the workshop background, all of you must be aware. Actually, Professor Haller wrote to the Geological Society of India a way back, 4 years back, with a request that to have an Indo-U.S joint meeting in catalysis. To have this in the area of zeolite catalysis, because India made a significant research and a progress in this particular area. And then originally we wanted to hold it. Actually this is supposed to be held in Baroda, but it is on the request of the host, which is supposed to be held in Baroda in 91. Thousands and thousands of scientists in the world are working in the area of zeolite, analysis and various applications. And zeolites are expected to be wondrous materials in the coming decades for petroleum, petrochemicals, and organic conversion, and many more. Therefore, it is a very appropriate topic to discuss. And you all must be knowing, some of you, but at least for information today, we have an international zeolite association. We have a separate journal for zeolite. I am very glad the editorial board of zeolite is an international journal. One of our very distinguished scientists, Dr. Prasada, is the editorial board, which is also a recognition of the zeolite. And am delighted that the entire refining industry in this country, petroleum refining industry, and also the associated engineering company, Indonesia, and Zeolite manufacturers like Hindustan, they co-sponsored this workshop. And I am indeed very grateful. And not only co-sponsoring, I made a special mention today that, of course, one of the R&D directors of the corporate, of the mega I company, Indian Oil Corporation, was chief guest. And I am happy to announce that we have very distinguished two directors of the refining companies among the audience, the judge and his senior colleague, Mr. Prasada, and Mr. Mukhopadhyay, director of operations of the Hungarian independent petroleum workers, who has come all the way from Assam, and his colleague, and Hindustan Petroleum, Islam, and his colleague. So not only this co-sponsoring by financial participation, the very fact that present here of the very senior board members reflects they are looking forward to Zeolite from here and this application in petroleum finance coming here. So I am very delighted and grateful to join of our refining company support. And today it is a matter of pride, based on Indian Zeolite, it says the two commercial processes they are in operation. One is for xylene isomerization in Indian Petroleum Corporation, in collaboration with Indian Petroleum Corporation, and the NCL, they developed the catalyst and it is in operation, commercial operation in Baroda, in IIP, the aromatics plant, last 200 years. And other world-class process in the Zeolite is alpine technology, and which is again commercialized jointly by National Chemical Laboratory and Hindustan Hindustan, earlier it is called Hindustan Polymer Corporation, but I think it is UB Group now. The plant is running at Visakhapatnam. It is a direct conversion of alcohol and the benzene to carotene to ethyl benzene. It is a very good process, especially for countries like India. So these are some sort of significant contributions. In addition to many IIPs, many national laboratories like IICT, Jorhat, and Bhubaneswar, Bhavnagar laboratories, and many are working, and there are very good number of scientists working in the area of Zeolites. And the Indian Petrochemicals Corporation has a unique role in the Zeolite research. And they have a production facility. In addition to Hindustan liver, they also have very popularly known as Dehradun, a production facility. They have their own research center, very strong group, and they have their own operating plans to experiment with Zeolite which they develop in collaboration. So I would say that they occupy a big position in the Zeolites. And there are many companies now today make Zeolites in the country. Hindustan liver you put up accessible, very famous place for saints, and Ganga, deep in Ganga will make you more pious. So with these surroundings, I hope all of you will enjoy this workshop next 200 days. Therefore, just conclusion, I want to introduce my American friends here one by one. And Professor Heller is already in the dais. And when I read the name, I request Robert Petroleum, Edward William Conference, and Professor Bruce Gates, Professor Raman Kote, Dr. Elmer Hart from Mobile Corporation, and Dr. Van Nordstrand. So stand. There's now third promoter we have. Not really the
U.S. workshop about 4 years ago. I should, by way of preface to that, to note that bilateral meetings have been sponsored for some time through the Catalysis Society with the help of the National Science Foundation, and we have had previous meetings with various countries, including Korea, China, East Germany, Soviet Union, France, and Japan. And I had been involved in those as foreign secretary of the Catalysis Society. It was clear that we needed to involve India in these because of their major contributions to catalysis. And so Dr. Prasada and I met after the Calgary International Congress and discussed as he's already mentioned, the organization of this meeting. As a co-editor of the Journal of Catalysis, I see the contribution, the scholarly contributions to catalysis, and it is in that role that I had recognized the very extensive contributions to zeolite catalysis, and so we very quickly focused on that as the topic of this meeting, zeolite heterogeneous catalysis. Then there were a few setbacks which caused the 4 years to elapse before we actually got the meeting underway. I won't bore you with those details, but we're finally here and pleased to be here. When I was considering how we might organize the U.S. delegation, it was clear that we needed to have a very strong industrial component because this is an area of catalysis worldwide probably, but certainly U.S. where even though they produce a great deal of research that we never see, even looking at that portion which they share with us in the open literature, industry must contribute at least half of all of the scholarly research in this area of science. And so I'm very pleased. I will not introduce them because that has just been done. But just note that half of our delegation does come from industrial laboratories and the other half is from more academic oriented institutions. The focus that we will have in this meeting will be on the fundamentals of catalysis, but since our goal will ultimately be to apply those fundamentals to design new and better catalysts for our industry, that will then be what we would hope to grow out of this workshop, furthering of our understanding of the fundamentals with the goal of applying them practically. I would just like to thank my co-organizers on the U.S. side, Chister, who's already been introduced, on the Indian side, Dr. Prasada. I will, of course, wish to thank later, again, more extensively, all of our Indian hosts, but at this time, would like to particularly point to acknowledge Dr. Chandra, who organized our arrival and our tour to this point. It's very helpful, and we're very appreciative of that. So with that, I thank you, and thank you again for your welcome. I look forward to a stimulating meeting.
Weeks of this land. Participants, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I am very happy to participate in the Indo-U.S. workshop on zeolite heterogeneous catalysis sponsored jointly by catalysis societies of North America and India. The wide interest of Indian industry, particularly the petroleum companies in the theme of the workshop, is reflected by the long list of co-sponsors of the event and the large participation here. I take this opportunity to welcome each of the distinguished scientists from USA. It is our great privilege to listen to their presentations and know about their recent studies. Also, it may be said that zeolite heterogeneous catalysis is an area where Indian efforts are quite contemporary. I congratulate my Indian colleagues for their success in this area. It is also appropriate to thank National Science Foundation to facilitate the event. in the petroleum industry in India, zeolite catalysts are now well recognized, while the 9 FCC units in 80s started off with amorphous catalysts with a view to maximize middle distillate production. Our scientists and engineers quickly realized the usefulness of zeolite catalysts even for this application, and presently all of our FCC units are running on zeolite-based catalysts. In addition, at least in 3 of our refineries, we are using ZSM-5 FCC catalyst additive to augment LPG production in our cases, for which we have large deficit in the country. We are in the process of setting up the first hydrocracker unit in India. The present unit is intended to use amorphous catalysts. We are aware that abroad there are many hydrocracker units using zeolite catalysts, and I am sure our scientists and engineers would duly consider the need of zeolite-based catalysts for the above unit and the new units. We have waxy indigenous crudes creating problems in maintaining production rate of diesel fuel, particularly during winter months. There is need to consider hydrodewaxing with appropriate zeolite-based catalyst for this purpose. Similarly, we understand that abroad, hydrodewaxing is also being considered for lube oil dewaxing operations. We have large number of catalytic reforming units, some of them for motor gasoline production and others for aromatic production. Keeping in view lead phase down and increased requirements of aromatic hydrocarbons in the country, a large number of additional units are being planned. We understand that zeolite bearing catalysts are being used in these areas. When we run close to the potential yields, we may get into the need of considering the above catalyst systems. As regards lead phase down, we are currently into the phase of switching over to 0.15 grams per liter of lead in gasoline. In future, we may consider having lead-free gasoline, at least in our metropolitan cities. For this purpose, we need to have isomerization and alkylation units in the refinery. In isomerization, zeolite catalysts are used. As regards alkylation, the currently preferred catalyst systems using HF is considered hazardous. I am sure that it is a matter of time when zeolite catalyst system will replace HF or sulfuric acid catalyst systems in this area. We are in the process of developing our natural gas utilization in the country. If we find large surplus of gas in the future, we may as well consider converting gas to distilled fuel. In that case, also zeolite catalysts are being utilized. We are also putting up a pilot plant in one of our refineries to investigate some steps of this process. In the petrochemical area, IPCL and NCL jointly developed and commercialized zeolite catalyst for isomerization of xylene, which is in successful operation for quite some time in IPCL plant. Dr. Prasada did mention about this. While our other units of ethyl benzene production are using one purpose, the Hindustan polymer plant in Vizag, which again Prasada mentioned, the National Chemical Laboratory has introduced a novel technology called alkylation process, in which ethyl benzene is produced by direct alkylation of benzene with dilute ethanol using a zeolite catalyst. We have a large number of alkylation plants making ethylic alkylate. We are concerned with the large HF present in these plants, which has its own potential hazard. We understand that zeolite catalysts are being commercialized for this process. I am sure in India too, they will be really considered in the future. Zeolite catalysts are widely used abroad in the field of fine chemicals. In India, this use is yet to come up. Molecular sheet catalysts are being used for inorganic abatement refinement operations. Environmental concerns in future is likely to lead us to consider such applications. Many of our national laboratories and academic institutions are engaged in synthesis and characterization of different noble zeolites and have achieved considerable success in this area. I hope that these activities in future would be also closely linked with evaluation of suitability of such zeolite catalyst materials in different potential new and existing applications. This is an important area where linkage with our laboratories engaged in zeolite studies and applied laboratories need to be formed in different aspects of zeolite from recent information to be presented, further improve contacts between scientists in India and US, leading to hopefully joint cooperative programs in areas of mutual interest, foster new linkages between our zeolite scientists, applied research institutes and industry in India. I have great pleasure and satisfaction in inaugurating the Indo-U.S. workshop. Thank you.
It is now my pleasant duty to pose a vote of thanks. We are very grateful to Chief Guest Dr. P.K. Mukhopadhyay, Director IIP, who has kindly agreed to inaugurate the Indo-U.S. workshop, and that too on a very short notice, and share with us his thoughts on the significance of zeolite, a wonder material, and its application in the petroleum refining industry. I express my sincere thanks. We are also very fortunate to have Professor Gary L. Hara, U.S. coordinator and the President of Federal Society of North America, and have an opportunity to hear his views on advances made in the zeolite research and their role in newer processes in refining and petrochemical industry. I sincerely express my gratitude and thanks to Professor Hara. I am also very thankful to foreign dignitaries, Professor Sigmund M. Cesare, Chief Technical Advisor in the project, Dr. Werner O. Hawk, Mobile Oil Corporation, Professor B.C. Gage, Chemical Engineering and Chemistry, University of Delaware, Dr. R.A. Van Nostrand, Chevron Research Company, Dr. Robert A. Virelin, Amoco Oil Company, Dr. E.W. Conqueror, Exxon Research and Engineering Company, Dr. Rosemary Stonestock, Georgia Institute of Technology, Dr. Raymond J. Gote, University of Pennsylvania, and Dr. Donna G. Blackmon, University of Pittsburgh, for coming from USA for staging the workshop. I also thank to Dr. J.G. Nagy, who has come from Belgium to attend this workshop. Interpretation. I'm also very thankful to all the guests who spared their valuable time for attending the inaugural session. The workshop would not have been possible without cooperation and financial support given by petroleum refining industry, that is Indian Oil Corporation, Bharat Petroleum Corporation, Hindustan Petroleum Corporation, Madras Refining Limited, Cochin Refining Limited, Mumbai Oil Refining Private Limited, Engineers India Limited, and Center of High Technology. I am thankful to them. I express my sincere thanks to Doordarshan, Akashvani, and press, local, regional, and national, being present here to cover the inaugural function as well as to the proceedings of the Indo-U.S. workshop. I am also very thankful to all my colleagues, research associates and research scholars who work very hard and international, national, local communities for their guidance and in this workshop. I am also thankful to the school teachers for making this innovation. Thank you all.
Out of this meeting, we might have some cooperative research between India and the United States on various areas of catalysis. And if they are successful in developing new catalysts at higher efficiency or higher activity, that would have a major impact on the petroleum industry in India, I presume.
It's a good field to be in. If you'd like to do fundamental things, if you like to be practical, both, it's hard to find a better field.
That's what is the reason why we are trying to maximize middle states out of FCC as well as hydrocarbon. These are the
Cheese pakoda. Your black coffee.
We already have milk in it. I'll just have tea. Tea's fine.
He's also with milk and not
Yeah,
black coffee also.
some vegetable patties. No, I just have the three.
New idea, a new thought, so that we will see some more expensive.
Music faculty of Banaras Hindu University.
In an Indian classical dance recital of
Jaya Sharanu Sharanu Surendra Samma Sharanu Shri Sati Vallabha Sharanu Sharanu Surendra Samma Sharanu Shri Sati Vallabha Sharanu Rakshasa Garbha Sammara Sharanu Venkatanayaka Swami Shri Raghunayaka Vijaya Venkatanayaka Sharanu 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 Surendra Samma Sharanu Shri Sati Vallabha Sharanu Rakshasa Garbha Sammara Sharanu Venkatanayaka Swami Shri Raghunayaka Vijaya Venkatanayaka Sharanu Sharanu Muragara Mukunda Madhava Gaurakamana Gajanava Muragara Mukunda Madhava Gaurakamana Gajanava Parama Purusha Bhavanja Keshava Naramraga Sharira Namo Namo Narayana Te Namo Namo Jaya Narada Vandita Namo Namo Murakarana Gata Mukunda Madhava Gaurakamana Gajanava Parama Purusha Bhavanja Keshava Naramraga Sharira Namo Namo Narayana Te Namo Jaya Narada Vandita Namo Namo Narayana Te Namo Namo Jaya Narada Vandita Namo Namo Hatte Harikita Takapa Hey Sumagam Sakade Harikita Takapa Hey Sumagam Takata Sumagam Harikita Takade Sumagam Harikita Takam Sumagam Dete Shaganara Dete Divyambodha Para Dete Shaganara Dete Divyambodha Para Shri Venkatagiri Nayaka Shri Sagetari Dete Shaganara Dete Divyambodha Para Shri Venkatagiri Nayaka Shri Sagetari Jaya Madhava Bhavatut Mangalam Madhura Arate Jaya Mangalam Tây, 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 Tây,